Roxy wants to see if she can help Moyo reach an important milestone in his rehabilitation.
Come on, come Moyo, move.
At just a few days old, Moyo nearly drowned. As a result, he's developed a deep-rooted fear of water. Months of therapy have rebuilt his confidence. Today, he faces a big challenge.
We're going down to the big dam and trying to help him get over his fear of water. Come on, let's go see. I'm just gonna walk straight in and see what happens. Come on then.
Even with Roxy and Josephine encouraging him, Moyo isn't keen.
Oh. You know, they say elephants don't forget, and perhaps he will never forget his trauma. But at least if we can show him that it can be a bit of fun, we can sort of retrain his brain to cope with that early memory. Come, big boy. Come on, big boy. So hopefully he'll just settle. We'll just go slowly, slowly, slowly. Come on, then. Come on. Good boy. Come, Moyo. Come on. Come on.
After some gentle reassurance from Roxy, Moyo finally takes the plunge.
Oh, that's so fantastic. So fantastic. Come, Moyo. Well done. Good boy. This is awesome. Really awesome. It's better than I anticipated. But I think it helps being in the water with him. Good boy.
As his confidence builds, he begins to enjoy the experience.
Fantastic. This is really a big breakthrough. It's a really, really big breakthrough.
14 months of around-the-clock care and therapy have led to this moment.
It's an enormous, enormous milestone, and it's one that I've actually been dreaming about. Just to swim with Moyo properly. Yeah, no, I genuinely, I loved that. I really loved it, so it's great.
And for Moyo, it's a huge step forward in his long journey back to the wild.
You give him a little bit of confidence, a little bit of love, and yeah, reassurance, and they just want to please you, you know? To begin with, he was doing it to please me, and then he started to have fun. And I just love that about Ellies. It's wonderful.
This is my chance to get a closer look at the pups. I cannot believe that I'm this close to both pups at a den. It is beyond my wildest dreams. At this distance, you can really get a good view of these pups. And the reason for being so close is really just to try and distinguish one from the other. It seems that the smallest pup is the most dominant one. There's not much in it size-wise, but just being this close, you can tell that one is marginally smaller, but considerably more dominant. It's the dominant pup that seems to be the most adventurous one. They're kind of ranked in order. There's super adventurous, adventurous, and stay at home. It always seems to be the same third one that stays back, and it's kind of encouraged with others to head further out. When they're together, I can see a hierarchy between the pups, but it's still difficult to tell them apart. Now, I'm in a unique position to see how they develop.
Petronell's rhinos are all at different stages of rehabilitation. Some are large enough to roam free in a wild reserve, but rescued babies need care around the clock.
Happy baby, happy baby, happy baby.
And baby Manji is her biggest challenge yet.
Manji means place of the stars. And he's a star. He's a star in my life.
He's the youngest rhino that Petronelle has ever rescued.
Okay, jumps in first, jumps in first.
At just 2 days old, his mother was killed by poachers for her horn. And he too was attacked with a machete and received near fatal head injuries. In every rescue, the first 48 hours are crucial. Petronelle didn't leave Manji's side.
He was so small and so skinny. The blood loss was immense. And I called everyone I know. I just know, hey, we're going to save this one.
And after intense medical treatment, doctors managed to save him.
Manji is the survivor of survivors. He's a brilliant little one. I'm very, very proud of him. And I love him to bits.
Manji now needs to learn how to be a wild rhino. And Petronelle is determined that he and all her orphans return to where they belong.
There was never a choice for me in looking after these giants. It's a journey. It's a lifelong commitment. I want them to be free. I want them to be in the wild.
White rhinos are highly social mammals, and a crucial part of their rehabilitation is to become part of a herd.
It's time to come out. Playtime, playtime.
Since arriving, Manji has been living in this small intensive care unit with other rescued baby rhinos. And Petronelle is pleased with the progress he's making.
You know, he will at one stage will have to fight for territory. So he needs to be strong in character. He needs to be a leader. And that's what I want, and I see it in him. I can clearly see it in him. He's a fighter. He wanted to live. Definitely, he wants to live.
But this will not be his permanent home.
We want to release him back into the wild. They herd animals. They like the socialism. They play, they mud bath. If I see him doing well in that stages, I know he will do well outside there.
Manji is now strong enough to learn how to fend for himself, and his whole world is about to change.
What did the guys say? Where did they find him?
Apparently there was a couple walking along the beach this morning and they heard him crying. They make a really loud crying noise when they're not with their mothers. And so they found them and they looked everywhere for the mom, but they couldn't find her anywhere. And that's when they called 911. This is definitely a newborn that we're dealing with here. This is gonna be tricky.
The first stop is the centre's clinic for a thorough check-over.
So I'm just gonna look over his body a little bit and see if we see any kind of wounds or anything that's abnormal. He looks good. I don't see any wounds at all, so that's good. Let's turn him over and look at his belly. So his belly button, the umbilical cord is gone, but it's still inflamed. So it looks like the umbilical cord came off very recently.
It's really gripping on there.
The last thing that goes is their grip. The fact that he still has an extremely strong grip, I mean, that's really, really good. He's actually 275 grams. Very small, and he's at the bottom of the normal weight range for two-toed sloths. Honestly, he's just so tiny that before we give him a proper name, I think we'll just call him Tiny.
Tiny is the smallest sloth that Sam has ever looked after. And at this age, one of the biggest risks is dehydration.
All right, bud, here we go.
It's critical that Sam can get fluids into him fast.
Oh my gosh, look. Good job, bud. That's amazing. This is like the best result that we could possibly hope for, because not only does he want to drink, but he's clearly knows what he's doing.
He's just so ridiculously tiny. How much fluid do you need to get inside him?
If I could get 5 milliliters in him, then I think that would be a pretty good place to start for now. And at the next feeding in a couple hours, I'll try again and just keep going like that throughout the day.
Tiny is just so small. I don't think I've ever seen a baby animal this vulnerable. And now for Sam, it's going to be a massive commitment. She's got to look after him 24/7, feeding him every few hours. And she's probably not going to get much sleep.
Hi.
Horace was rescued about 5 months ago. Just like Harriet, it's thought his mum was hit by a car.
He was just found sitting by her body. He was not even 2 weeks old. He was very traumatized, very dehydrated, and he's made a really good recovery, and he has created this amazing life for himself at Twala. But as much as it's lovely for Horace to have a serval and a duiker and a dog and domestic kittens as friends, it would be really good for him to actually start learning about being a monkey.
And this could be his big chance.
Come on.
Another orphan has just arrived at the centre.
This is Jackie. She is also an orphan vervet, a little bit younger than Horace. She's probably 3.5 months old now.
What a clever girl.
Hey.
Oh.
Jackie lost her mum too and is still very traumatised.
She's going to need lots of love and reassurance. But if she can form a relationship with Horace, that would also be great for her, because obviously the most comforting thing for her would be to be with another monkey.
It's an important meeting.
Good boy.
If they get on, Horace will help Jackie become more confident.
I am right here, Jackie, so you don't need to freak. Okay, we can just do our own thing, okay? What do you think?
And Jackie will teach Horace what it's like to play, climb, and learn with his own kind.
Hello, Horace, special boy. You mustn't be jealous. Gently, Jackie, be nice. Come on, let's be friends. There we go. Oh, good girl. Oh, good girl. Well done, Horace. Nice. And you're being such a gentleman. I'm very proud of you. They are getting on so well. You know, monkeys are into everything, and now that we have twofold monkeys, there's going to be no peace.
Horace and Jackie can now grow up together here at Twala. And Sarah hopes that when they're older, they will join the centre's monkey troupe.
I do my best to teach them what I can, but there is no better way for them to learn than from each other.